Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about a troubling trend in health topics. I'm of course talking about body acceptance, or what sometimes is called fat acceptance, or the plus size movement, or BBW, stuff like that. This is basically the idea that it's okay to be big and huge and overweight and unhealthy. That's getting pushed a lot these days because it really goes along with a lot of the other things the left is going for. They're pushing for a lot of different lifestyle choices. They're always trying to get things out there for other things too, like sexuality, like, oh, this is okay. It's okay to cheat on your spouses now, and it's okay to love whoever you want. And they push all this alphabet stuff, which of course, we're not here to say that's not okay. And this isn't about saying, oh, it's not okay to be overweight or something like that either. I mean, that's not what we're trying to bash here. What we're trying to bash is the hypocrisy, and we're trying to call out the ridiculous nature of this whole body positivity movement. They've gone too far. They've taken it way too far, and they're pushing this idea on everyone, and they're putting these people on magazines. They're taking over magazines that were previously covered by very beautiful women, people that were in shape, people that worked out and showed signs of physical prowess. And now the body positivity movement is taking over. And today we're going to talk about an interesting story coming out of that, something that's been trending again on Reddit recently, as you can see by this post. This post was actually removed from Reddit since I started to make this video. It's been removed. I found it a couple days ago. It came out last week. It says, here's a double standard that doesn't get much attention. Below that, you could see it saying that it's been removed by this Reddit page, and the title will probably give away why. It says, plus size women admit they aren't attracted to overweight men. Hold on, how come the women get to be plus size but the men are overweight? Now, this is a pretty common thing that people know now. Everyone kind of knows this about body positive people. It's really a pro women kind of thing, and it's anti-male in a lot of ways too. I mean, basically, they do say and come out and straight up admit that plus size is really for girls more than it is for guys. And these plus size girls, they're not going for plus size guys. They're not pushing for that movement. You never see plus size encouraged or promoted with dudes. Now that I think about it more, I don't think I've ever seen like a cover or any of these pictures that are going around saying, oh, this and this and this, like we never see any of that for guys. It's always girls, body positive. And that's why I think this is interesting. That's why it showed up on this awful kind of subreddit highlighting stories like this. And admittedly, this is a repost. This has been going around for a couple years now. We're going to get to some other examples, but it is trending again on Reddit. You can see some of the comments. It figures that overweight women also get double standards. That's a pretty good joke. All men married to fat women are cheating since their partner counts as two people. That's another interesting joke. So you get a lot of jokes on Reddit, but the point stands. The jokes come from the truth in comedy, as they put it. And essentially, it's a big gaping double standard. It's a big kind of just hypocrisy in this movement. And it's not just exampled here. Like we said, this was a post. This is like a repost. Comes up on Reddit every once in a while. And we have other examples of it too. Like, for example, I found this post on Whisper that has a few other actual real life examples. Like, that was just a headline, but now we're going to get to some specifics. So this says, plus size women admit they aren't attracted to overweight men. As a plus size woman, there's this expectation that you should only date overweight men. But what if you aren't attracted to plus sized men? These women open up about dealing with the stigma of being plus size and refusing to settle and date overweight men. Okay, sorry to get good, but let me finish. From the dealing with harsh criticism to feelings of guilt for their preferences, find out what they had to say in these tell-all confessions. Now, first things first, I think you got to note the very kind of interesting language they choose, because for women, if they're overweight, it's plus size. It's treated as something better, like it's euphemized. They make a euphemism for it. But men are overweight. So men are straight up called overweight, like kind of just a common way to put it. You probably would have a negative connotation with that because generally being overweight is not preferable. It's not healthy as someone that's in shape. Obviously, someone working out every day, playing basketball, lifting weights, whatever it may be, watching what they eat, they're going to be in better shape than someone that's overweight. But the point today is the whole hypocrisy between the guys versus the girls. And that's what I noticed in the middle of reading this, because it says these women open up about dealing with the stigma of being plus size and refusing to settle and date overweight men. So do you think they would consider dating a plus size woman, settling or dating them, like settling or refusing to settle for them. Like, they wouldn't phrase it that way if it was a girl. Like, you would actually be called offensive. These are the same kinds of social justice people that have said other things, like if you don't date certain people, they call that offensive. Like, for example, if you don't date certain alphabet people, they act like you're a phobia of them, you're a phobic of them, you hate them. And that's just another preference that I think the preferences are fine. Like, this girl wants to have a preference. I'm not sure what their name is or anything. It's just some kind of public post, but they're obviously having a preference. I'm not here to say that's not okay. Like, everyone has a preference for who they date, who they hang out with, who they spend their time with, all those things. Where you go to work or school, you have preferences, but the hypocrisy is really ripe in this one. And it's also it's got a very anti-male angle to it, which I don't appreciate being a dude myself. And in addition, yeah, like, I feel like this whole thing is just twisted around and they want to accept the bigger girls, but the bigger guys, it's like, screw you, you need to get in shape. And this is reflected in society, like we've said about the pictures and advertising. Like, these plus size girls never have plus size guys. That's just the way it is. Just because you're plus size doesn't mean you need to date overweight men. Sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not attracted to bigger guys, even though I'm plus size myself. I find it rare to find a big guy that takes care of his appearance and hygiene the way I do. People are quick to judge. I'm a plus size woman, but I'm not attracted to big guys. I get a lot of hate and criticism for it, but I can't help that I like average to muscular type. I'm overweight, but not attracted to overweight guys. It makes me feel bad. I can't expect someone else to watch their weight if I don't. Well, at least this person has a little bit of self-awareness. I think it is a preference thing. I think it's just coming from a hypocritical stance, and it just shows for them. I mean, it's like they're admitting it. They're like admitting, I'm attracted to this kind of person. Most people are attracted to fit people. I mean, that makes sense. That's just the kind of biology we have. That's us being human beings, which are basically evolved animals that have picked out traits that we find appealing. A lot of it goes back to reproducing and things like that. That's why guys are attracted to female features that increase the likelihood of them to have their kids. Like, they like bosoms and hips and other attractive things that show that the woman can have kids. And then women, in the other turn, evolutionarily speaking, they like guys who are fit, strong, attractive. They can protect them and give them a good like home, a place that's safe. They need someone bigger because back in the day, we're talking about evolution from millions of years ago, and you had to really protect yourself more, and you had to worry about the elements and animals and fighting other people. There wasn't rule of law and stuff like that. So really what we're getting down to is a dating preference kind of discussion, and the whole hypocrisy coming from this body positive movement, which is mostly led by big girls who want to be accepted and call you fatphobic or anti-female if you don't date them, but then they go and do the same kinds of things they call out themselves. Lastly, I want to check this article from the Daily Mail. This is another specific example. We have more details about this person. It's from a couple years ago. It says, plus size woman admits she doesn't find being obese beautiful or attractive, and who are you calling fat? Babs gets emotional over the appearance of her body during a dance class. She speaks candidly in tonight's episode of BBC Two's Who Are You Calling Fat? The 50-year-old from Sussex admits she doesn't find obese people attractive. She explains that fellow housemate Courtney, 26, has an attractive personality. So here's the person we're talking about, basically admitting the same thing. This is a part of a TV show, a British reality show, and it's really coming from a more woke place too. So this is a place that would be more likely pushing acceptance. Lots of parts of Europe are way more woke even than America, especially Britain, especially places like England. Like, they're some of the worst. So that's why we're seeing this kinds of stuff, not only in their press, in this Daily Mail article, but also in their television from the BBC. And we'll get more into it right here. Plus size woman who has struggled with her body image for years admitted she doesn't find herself or other obese people attractive. Tonight's episode of the BBC Two show captures the moment Babs from Sussex opens up about her views on overweight people, just moments after getting upset over her own appearance in a body positive dance class aimed at larger women. The prison supervisor, who has struggled to manage her weight from an early age, reveals she sees aspects of beauty within people but can't lie when she says she doesn't find obese people appealing. While her fellow obese housemates prepare for an upcoming party, Babs questions whether those who endorse body positivity are vocal about their views as a way of hiding their insecurities. So this is really like a wake-up call, I think. This is really like a person kind of saying what's not meant to be said. This is something they should really keep in their heads, but we're in a different world now. We're in this social media age, and people just kind of feel entitled and feel just more open about sharing things. Like, it reminds me of people like posting posting their own L's. You see a lot of that online now, people posting on a Twitter or something, like this group posts their own L's. I follow a couple like journalism posting their own L's, or girls. There's other versions of that. And it's just funny because the worst part is they're posting it themselves. They're thinking this is something that might make them come off okay. They think the honesty is appreciated. And I mean, it is. It's not like it's better necessarily to lie or to deceive people or not tell the truth. But there's just some things you try to keep to yourself. You try to like not give out all your little secrets and just look even worse. Like you just be better off like skipping this question or talking about it in a different way. And I think that's basically where we can wrap this up. It's just a really bad movement. It's a really pro-female, anti-male thing. It's based on bad science and people trying to act like they're healthy when they're really not. And that's what we're combating today. That and the whole kind of posting your own L's thing at the end here. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment your thoughts on everything below. Tell me what you think about this body positivity stuff, about girls who think it's okay, but they don't want to date people that are the same way. I find that interesting. I find this whole idea a little strange, but tell me what you think. Comment below, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell for notifications too. Until next time, have a good day.